since Skyrim came out in 2011, there have been many builds over the years to roleplay different types of characters in the Northern Lands. Whether it be a powerful wizard or a simple merchant, Skyrim has always been filled with many objectives serving a purpose for character builds. Although its popularity nowadays is more relevant to the modding community, it hasn't stopped many people in creating fun and unique builds, either with or without mods. In today's video, I'll be going over what I think are the best builds of 2020. These builds really stand out not just from a role-playing perspective, but also from the character's backstory as well as the combat mechanics. If you want to learn more about these builds, be sure to check out the description since each build goes into great detail about each character. Anyway, let's begin. This should come to no surprise due to the author's reputation of creating high quality builds ever since Skyrim came out. The Lamp Descendent is a spell sword that specializes in dealing with mages and the undead by using a variety of spells, skills, and weapons. You have turn undead spells to help control the battlefield, wards to block and absorb magic, bound swords to banish summon Daedra, a crossbow with poison bolts along with the Staff of Magnus to drain the target's magicka, shock magic to damage and disintegrate your foes, and the Dawnguard rune next to finish them off. You start as a Breton, roleplaying as one of the last members of the Order of the Lamp, a faction that once served as protectors of the Mages Guild. Your role in Skyrim is to help rebuild the Order by recruiting new members and establishing new homesteads. All this can be done with the Hardfire DLC, allowing you to recruit up to 5 new members. While doing so, you'll also be uncovering plenty of Skyrim secrets and solving potential threats, along with having a companion at your side. There's quite a lot I like about this build, especially when it comes to the combat and role-playing aspect. However, I'll say that my favorite part is a special move called Vulnero's Retribution. With Guardian Circle active and having the spell absorption abilities from Atronach Stone and Dragonskin, you're provided with an unlimited supply of magicka while being immune to all magic attacks. Follow up with Lightning Storm and you'll be able to finish off any enemies in epic fashion. Even though I prefer modded builds, the Lamp Descendant is an enjoyable build regardless of your preference, and it's definitely one up there with one of Ponty's classics. The Infernal Huntress is a demon hunter build inspired by the same class from the Diablo games. While there have been many incarnations of this build, this one has a unique twist by using vampire abilities from the mod Sacrosanct. Along with blood magic and vampire abilities, you have fire destruction magic to damage multiple opponents, restoration skills that automatically replenish your health, turn undead spells to force your targets to flee, and enchanted crossbows providing the final blow to your opponent. Add in shells like Fire Breath, become ethereal, and slow time, and you have a number of methods of taking out opponents one by one or against a large group. The major highlight of this build is that it's all about offense. Your main focus on taking out enemies without the use of healing spells or retreating from battle, while the ongoing damage from your spells and bolts wither away their health. I also like the combination of Guardian Circle and Wall of Flames, forcing the undead to retreat while they burn and finishing them off with your crossbow. If you're a fan of ENICM mods like Ornator, Sacrosanct, and Imperious, then this build is worth checking out. I also recommend checking out the rest of Farian's builds that are well received from the Skyforge community. While Fudge Muppet are more focused on making lore videos and discussion topics about the Elder Scrolls universe, they've always put a lot of effort into making character builds, detailing the backstory, roleplaying, game mechanics, and combat strategies aspect of it. Enter the Divine Battlemage, a build based on the Battlemage class from Oblivion and heavily inspired by Gandalf. The build uses swords and staffs, along with conjuration magic, focused on serving the Aedra while destroying evil. While this build uses a lot of mods, including Bruma from the Beyond Skyrim series, the majority of them are light overhauls that respects the base game. The perk Overhaul Valkyrie will make your status more powerful, and along with the Battlemage class from classic classes and burst signs, wielding a sword in one hand and a staff in another will give you an edge in combat. With Mysticism, your flesh spells, which are automatically cast when entering combat, are more powerful, giving you an armor rating of 500 with Dragonhide. Besides the swords and staff playstyle, there's also the Raise Oil spell, which literally gives you the moment, protecting you from enemies. Using the sword from the Ice Blade on the Monarch, you can summon a powerful Frost Atronach to tank your enemies while focusing on blasting them with your choice of staff. This is another high quality build from the boys of Fudge Muppet and is an accurate representation of the Battlemage class from Oblivion. I've always liked this playstyle as well, since it makes combat more fun and enjoyable, allowing you to mix melee attacks with destruction magic. Although this build is quite OP, but you can definitely balance it out with some enemy overalls. The surname Blacklion used to be a loyal servant to the Aldmeri Dominion. Now it's become a title to strike fear to those he once served to protect. Combining the ruthless cunning of an Aldmeri warrior with the barbarian aspect of the Nords, this build uses unique methods that are considered cruel, deceitful, and above all, dishonorable to dispatch his foes. The build revolves around gaining revenge against the Aldmeri Dominion by assassinating the Emperor, assaulting the Thalmor headquarters, and laying siege to Northwatch Keep all in one long night. Before this event, your character developed his skills by joining multiple factions, including the Thieves Guild, Companions, and Dark Brotherhood. These questlines serve its purpose for the character's ultimate goal, an all-out assault on the Thalmor by sabotaging all their political ambitions in Skyrim. Gameplay-wise, the Blacklion is armed with dual-wielding katanas and a bound bow. He also relies on illusion magic to gain an edge in combat. The spells are useful when fighting multiple opponents, forcing them to flee, not engage in combat, and fight against their allies, while you use the Elementary Fury and Slow Time Shells to dispatch them. There's also poisons to paralyze your opponents, which along with the illusion spells, fit with the theme of a dishonorable warrior perfectly. Probably my favorite part of the gameplay is that you're playing an assassin character without the use of sneak. Instead of taking out opponents quietly, you start by creating havoc and chaos with your illusion spells, and then engage in open combat by endlessly attacking them. Also like this move where you cast a fear spell on an opponent, then use your bound bow along with a paralyzed poison to finish them off. You can tell where that's inspired from.
Do you like games, little man? Let's play a game.
This build really excels in its role-playing aspect and offers a unique method to play a warrior-type character with different methods of taking out their opponents, or an assassin character that doesn't use sneak. Either way, if you're into role-playing a character with an ambitious end goal in Skyrim, then it's definitely worth trying. Similar to the Divine Battlemage, the Skystrider is a build based around the classes from Oblivion, with this one being a spell sword. The Skystrider is a noble knight with plenty of magical abilities for both combat and utility. Along with being a skilled swordsman, the Skystrider uses shot magic to damage her foes, alteration to temporarily buff her skills, and restoration for healing and recovering her attributes during combat. This one is a no-brainer for me because I've always been a fan of spell swords, especially when using Ordinator as a perk overall. The Spellscribe perk that launches a destruction spell from your sword is always fun to use, especially when you combine it with the Windswept perk, which flings your target backward. Use out the utility spells from Okado's Recital and Spelltwine that anchors in a wide range of attributes, gaining an edge in combat. Add in the Warrior's Flame perk, which allows you to recover magicka and stamina in the middle of combat, and you got a build that focuses on aggressive gameplay that can take on multiple opponents single-handedly. In addition, I also like the light speed spell from the Cosmic Spells mod. You launch yourself at enemies, either knocking them down or staggering them, and then finish them off with your sword. It's quite fun to pull off, and Agile Learned Blow makes you feel like a badass, which is how I always like to play in Skyrim. Well, there you have it. Of course I didn't manage to try out every new build this year, and I favor these 5 just because of how fun the combat was. However, you can check out the description for a list of honorable mentions that are also worth trying out, along with links to the build page. Also, if you're familiar with my channel showcasing build demonstrations, expect some of those in the near future. Anyway, that's all for today, and thanks for watching. Peace out.